Well, a very good morning on the 24th of not January, 24th of July 23. It's not long after 11 a.m. and it's quite cold for July. I had a check, there's further snow for Ben Nevis in the high mountains. I think the wind's coming from a northerly flow. I've had some feedback from the BBC and the Met Office. Basically just like it a lump kind of replies. That's really what it was. I noticed the corrupt media this morning on the front page news about the wildfires and roads. I mean, it's complete insanity because annually these parts of the world always incur wildfires, and I mean, okay, there's people being inconvenienced, holidaymakers and tourists and such, whose lives have been put in danger as a result of these wildfires. But the newspapers and the normal end of earth, end of the world's scenarios make it look like we're all burning to death. And if you took a look at the satellite pictures of roads, you'll find that there's only really about 8% of the island that's actually ablaze. And one thunderstorm and that will be out. Nature does that. It burns away the old vegetation. Nature's in charge of everything. It knows what it's doing. If man would stay at the road of everything, it'd be altogether good. Why build holiday complexes on a place which is prone to wildfires anyway? Anyway, I'm not here to complain about all that stuff. What I've done is I've powdered up the Meadowsweet, which I collected yesterday. I've removed some of the, well, almost all of the stalks. And rather than discard, I say to you that nothing is wasted in my house. So I'll keep the remnants of the stalks and stuff, and over the next couple of weeks or more I'll just make a occasional Meadowsweet tea, because I normally use this jar for something else anyway. So that will go in the corner, and Meadowsweet tea has got a lot of health benefits. Very good for the skin, actually. Very good for complexion. And it's a diuretic and an antioxidant. So we've got a couple of damp pieces. This is from experience. If it doesn't break away from the smallest twig, it means there's still some dampness. Whereas this is now 99% dry. So what we'll do, Annie, because the problem you have, I don't know if you know about this, but there was instances in history where the wheat, hence why we have these massive grain dryers spotted all over the countryside in the UK and other parts of the world, of course. And these grain dryers are there, using up huge amounts of power, incidentally. But they have to make sure the wheat is bone dry before it can be shipped off for use in making bread and cakes and all the rest of it, and ground into flour, etc. But in history there was periods where the wheat wasn't dried properly, and what happens, it forms a mould, and it's very dangerous actually. Even this stuff here, if I stored that away without checking properly, and there's any damp pieces like I showed you there, that can cause problems in your body. So you have to be very careful exactly what you're doing. The ergot poisoning, which affects wheat and other grains like rye and stuff like that, is can cause, well, it did cause, and as I say, can cause convulsions and hallucinogenic and even schizophrenia. A lot of people put a lot of mental illnesses and the likes of schizophrenia down to overeating wheat, believe it or not. But ergot poisoning was pretty rife until they started making sure that the grains were dried, and lots of people had severe bouts of mental illness after eating infected grains. But that's not going to happen here, because what I'm going to do is, this is my large tray, which I mean, I don't really have any use for this tray. I bought it for this. I've got a smaller baking tray for if I'm cooking chicken or something like that, or whatever I'm using for in the oven. But this is the end result of that basin full of Meadowsweet florets. I say the end result. The end result will be when it gets stored into my jars. But you can see here, there's taking a little teaspoonful at a time. This will last a couple of years, because I don't use it. Maybe, look, if I use it once a month or something, you know. I used last year's batch, no, 2021's batch. I used a spoonful of that recently, having sore heads, and within an hour I was feeling back to my old self. The stresses of life. We'll just discard this piece, but that's the sort of stuff that will come off, and if it doesn't pull away from this easily, it means it's still damp. So that's all I need to tell you on this stage. And as I say, put this in the oven for the final dry, and do not close the door, otherwise you'll turn it all black. Just keep the door open at a gentle heat for an hour, and that will be sufficient to get this all dried off, and this will be my compound for any digestive or, as I said earlier in one of my vlogs, anything like headaches or something. But not as the first course or recourse of action. Let your body deal with it first, and if it's not been dealt with within 48 hours properly, then look to the medicine cupboard. The natural medicine cupboard, not the bloody pharmaceutical cupboard. Life is very difficult. He never gets a moment to himself. Life is very difficult. Life is life is very difficult. This is my Meadowsweet tea. Life is very difficult. Life is very difficult. Life is very difficult. Life is very difficult. So we'll see what this is like, and we'll enjoy it. Well, hello again, and finally on the 24th of July 23. I don't think I mentioned the date, did I? Can't remember. So this tray is quite hot, hence my tea towel. But this is now perfectly dry. Look how golden in colour it is. I've got the storage jar already sitting handy. I like to use a funnel, ensure there's no waste from the thing going down the sides of that. Normally I would just tip the whole tray up this way and brush it down, but because I've got a camera in my hand, I'm just letting you see me put my stock away. In fact, to save a lot of time, Andy, what we'll do is I think the audience, the viewing audience, will be able to work out that what I'm doing is putting the dry product in a storage container where it will remain for up to 2 seasons, 2 years. So if I'm still here in the year 2025, in these parts, then I'll be back out on a similar type day to collect. There's a twig, a very, very faint. I mean, what you can do is when you're making your medicine, to save you a lot of bother, you can just take them out at the same time. It won't do you any harm. It's all part of the plant. Every single part of Meadowsweet can be consumed from the roots upwards. And, so what we'll do, Annie, rather than spend, little bits like that non-stop, we'll just do what we usually do, and we'll be tipping this all in. Can we manage it for the viewers? Sure we can. Let's not be foolish. Let's do what we normally do, Andy. And we'll put the camera off and we'll come back. So there we go. That's it, all complete. You can see I could have doubled up on that, but that's what I call being greedy. I don't need any more than half a jar. And if I do require this stoneware jar for any other use, I can always transfer. It's perfectly sealed. I just know the floral arrangement on this one, what medicine's in this particular jar, so that's all I need. And because I've done a YouTube upload, I've got a good memory, and this would have been done on the weekend of the 23rd of July and all that. And another bonus is you don't even need to wash your baking tray. I mean, you can do if you wish, but at the end of the day, a quick dust down, there's nothing wet there, so, and that's the whole job done. I'll give that a little polish up, and thanks very much for watching.